Broadcasting live from the LRRCON wilds on the plain of Chandalar, this is Tap Tap Concede. Welcome everybody to Tap Tap Concede. Hope your games have been going well. This is Graham.
I'm James.
I'm Alex.
I'm Kathleen.
I think that's the first time that's ever been done successfully.
Yay!
Hey, how many episodes are we on? Like, is this 43?
It felt so good. It's welcome to Tap Tap Concede. We've got a lot of fun stuff to talk about. Some stories from our first several events into Journey into Nyx. I mean, we talked about that last week, but we've done more stuff in Journey recently. We did some gaming at the LRRCON.
Oh,
that was fun.
I think we can all talk about that. But first, we want to talk about some stuff that we got at LRRCON. Look at these.
Oh,
James
boy.
has these giant
I'm playing
cards.
Magic.
No, they're not. Look at the back. They say not for play use.
I'm covering that part deliberately. Yeah.
We got given these giant Magic cards.
Oh, Sheevan Dragon.
Sheevan Dragon, Jester's Cap, and the biggest, blackest Lotus.
Well, there's your first pick right there.
Yeah.
But if you think that's big, Alex.
Oh yes, and this the giant hypersonic dragon.
Yeah, there we go.
It's,
Yeah,
it's not gonna work.
it's not going to
So
work.
for those not watching
No
the video,
dice.
the hypersonic dragon is a giant.
It's like 2 foot by 3 foot.
Yeah,
Okay, so this is the rest of the podcast.
it's a foam core mounted. It was from the Return to Ravnica party.
Yeah.
That the store that was running events at the
At LRRCON.
at LRRCON had to give away as a prize, and one of our fans won it, and then I happened to bump into them in the morning in the lobby of the hotel on Sunday morning, and they were like, "We just realized we can't get this on the plane. Here's the coat check
Whoops.
ticket for it. Put it up in the moon base." And so now we have this giant hypersonic dragon.
So thank you very
Hi-oh.
much for that donation.
I like that it looks like it's been shot in the middle, like a,
Yeah, there's a weird hole in
like
the
a deck
center.
of cards from a casino, so that you know the deck's been played with or something. It's very strange.
It's super sweet, though.
Well, we also got given lots of brand new packs to crack.
So many packs.
It's really
Yep.
cool. A lot of interesting stuff we haven't done before. A big variety, and so we're going to be able to start rolling higher numbered, higher total dice again, which we're very excited about.
Pretty
But
sick.
But first,
we are jumping the queue. We're not going to roll the dice this week because what
There's
do you
a-
have there, James?
I have.
boy.
Now, you'll recall we've actually cracked this booster before on the
And it was a
podcast.
big scrub out.
And it sucked. So a gentleman whose name I actually don't remember
James.
was super.
Nice.
I don't even think he introduced himself, and if you did, I apologize. But
You know
he,
who you are.
He came up to me
Thank
and he's
you.
just like, "Here's a pack of revised." I like to think it's because he felt sorry for me because the pack of revised I bought was terrible.
If you recall, James bought a pack of revised. We cracked it on the thing. It cost you like
$60.
$60.
What'd you get?
The rare was Demonic Attorney.
Yep. And
Which
they're
is an anti-card.
anti-card, and there were 4 lands.
Yeah,
four
there are
basic.
4 basic lands.
Four
Dear
basic
God.
lands. So we're
Okay.
gonna hope.
Which is not outside the realm of possibility
No.
for a revised pack.
But
Okay, so all right. So what are you looking for in a pack of revised?
Duel.
we're looking for
Duels.
we're looking for duels.
All
That's
right.
what we're looking
What's
for.
now? You should read the.
You want me to read the?
Yeah, you should read
The
the
flavor
thing.
text?
Well,
It's not flavor
it's
text.
not flavor text.
Magic the Gathering is a collectible fantasy trading card game from Wizards of the Coast, featuring over 300 different
Whoa,
cards.
300 cards.
Now, some are fairly common, some are uncommon, and some are rare. Every player has their own individual deck. Challenge your friends, but remember, your opponent isn't defeated until the last life point has been taken.
Whoa.
So, pretty
Or if
badass.
they tried to draw with an empty library.
Yeah.
Or if they get
or you
hit by one
phased
of.
them out.
Or if they get hit by one of Vraska's assassin tokens.
We did a Lady Planeswalkers Learn to Play night,
Yeah.
and it was great. I was teaching somebody to the basics of playing Magic, and thankfully I had Serge sitting beside me, so it was really good and like nice and organized, and he picked it up really fast. But I was like, all right, so this is how this works. Unless in this case, and literally every single rule was like, this is how this happens unless there's an exception, which will be printed on the card, but there are many exceptions.
it's like-
So many exceptions.
These are the rules, but a card could overwrite the rules.
Yeah. But hey, guys, do you want to visit the shores of imagination?
Let's do
I
it.
really do. Now,
All
what's your secret worry?
That we're gonna get.
That we're going to open 5 lands?
No.
Oh yeah. My
Oh,
secret
yeah.
worry is that we're being trolled, and I'm going to open this, and it's a pack of 15 Bump in the Nights.
That would be
That-
That would be
is
pretty
possible.
amazing, honestly.
Okay, it's not.
phew.
But
Okay.
we're not off to a good start because
Uh-oh.
we start off with an island.
Roll,
Alright.
Raggy.
Basic
Okay.
Island.
Basic Island is the first pick.
Tap
I mean,
to
it is
add
the
blue
most
to your
busted
mana pool.
card in Magic.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
it's true. All right, next up we
Flash
have
fires.
Flash Fires for 3 and a red. All planes and plate are destroyed.
Take that,
Whoa.
mono white.
I'll let Paul bring up that card real
Is
quick
that,
so
is
we
that
can.
card legal in Commander?
Yeah, I don't know if you necessarily want to run it. I mean, it's very specific kind of.
If you're not running white in your deck, get
Color
fucked,
hate.
other people.
So Flash
Well, I mean,
Fire.
in Commander, you'd have a lot of dual lands and stuff too.
There,
It's
there's
only
a,
gonna
there's
hit
a better
planes.
version of this card that just blows up all non-basics in play
Yeah.
for the same mana cost.
It's true.
All right.
All right.
Oh, this guy.
Obstinous Golem
Obsidian.
or Obsianus.
I always thought it was Obstanius Golem.
No, there's no T. It's
Oh, wow.
Obsianus. That's how it's pronounced.
Wow,
It's the
had that
Obsianus Golem.
wrong for years.
For 6 colorless mana, you get a 4/6.
Oh, that's a windmill slam in old
So,
Batman.
yeah, I mean, currently this is my first pick.
Unless there's Juggernaut.
Next up,
What's this?
Aladdin's Ring. We have a fun story about Aladdin's Ring, don't we?
Oh,
Yeah.
dear. That's not the rare, is it?
I think we've talked about this actually for Jer's birthday party.
Yep.
We did a Chronicles 4th edition, or was it 4th Chronicle?
Sorry?
This
It's
is
the rare?
This is the rare.
Oh.
It was we did a Chronicles 4th, a Chronicles 4th edition draft, and Aladdin's Ring was like that was a bomb. Like Jared stole some games with that. It's an 8 mana artifact that for 8 and tap it deals 4 damage.
Yeah. Next up,
Hey,
we have Drain Life.
Not the worst.
for 1 and a black, Drain Life does 1 damage to a single target for each black mana spent in addition to the casting cost. Caster gains 1 life for each damage inflicted. If you drain life from a creature, you cannot gain more life than the creature's current toughness.
That's a weird.
That is
little
quite
clause.
specific.
Yeah.
So it's like multi-kicker.
Yeah, it's interesting. Next up, we have Regeneration.
Like Quentin Hoover.
Yeah, Quentin
Yep.
Hoover art tech.
We have for 1 and a green, you enchant a creature, and to enchant or to regenerate it, just 1 green mana.
See, this card looks sick, but we were doing our Lady Planeswalkers build a cube last night, and I saw that going around, and I'm like, why is this in here?
That's not. That shouldn't be.
We're taking this out. There's
All
a
right.
better 2-drop.
Hey.
Next up, we have Forest.
Oh, no!
And then another island.
God.
And
Oh,
then a mountain. There we go. So 4 lands again. Next up, we have Craw Worm.
Oh, wow.
You
that
get a
was-
vanilla 4/6 for 4 and green.
Oh, it hurts.
6/4 for 4.
Or 6/4 for 4 or for 6.
For 6, yeah.
Next up, we have Blue Elemental Blast.
Beb.
Counter a red spell being cast or destroy a red card in play for 1 blue.
That seems good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
It's-
I mean,
really good
sideboard.
sideboard tech.
Sweet sideboard tech. Hey, nice. Disintegrate.
that's really good.
That's a nice card. X red, Disintegrate deals X damage to 1 target. If target dies this turn, target is removed from the game entirely.
And
Entirely.
land. Nope.
And we have a forest.
Did we hit the 5-lander?
We hit the 5
We hit the
lander.
5-lander.
Next up, we have Phantasmal Terrain. For blue, you enchant the land. Target land changes to any basic land type of caster's choice. Land type is set when cast and may not be further altered by this card.
So you can go, my thing is a this thing, or you can go, your thing is
Yeah.
a this thing. That is a weird. I love the wording.
Yeah. All right.
Land, basic land. is
Are
gonna
we
be
ready?
land.
Are we ready? Are we ready? It's not. It's Horlurn Minotaur.
Oh, the
That is
Hungry
literally
Minotaur.
another card that I was
Oh,
like, wait,
wow.
is this a 2/3 Minotaur for
3.
2 red and 1? I
Yeah.
was like, can we literally swap this for any Minotaur from Theros, which is the same thing and easier to cast?
Well,
Yeah.
like he's exactly the same as Pensive Minotaur, except Pensive Minotaur is 2 and a red rather than 1 red.
That's I believe that was actually the suggestion that Amy said. She's like, why don't we just put in this?
I
Yeah.
think we managed the impossible,
That is super
which
Five
is
lands.
which is opening a pack worse than the one we opened earlier.
Did you
this
have one
year.
of each
Seriously
basic?
got the
Oh no, you didn't
5-lander.
even get the swamp.
Yeah, we didn't even get. I mean, it would have been sweet if we had gotten the swamp instead of the second island.
2 islands, mountain, forest,
And
forest.
so what have we learned here?
5 land. I mean,
Never
how,
open revise.
How annoyed? Yeah, never open. How annoyed would you be these days if you bought a pack of Magic cards for like $4 and 5 of the cards in there were basic land.
Wasn't that how you got land?
I know but
There's no way to get land otherwise.
Dear God,
They
you
had
think
to distribute it.
you think like 2 or 3 max.
People were pissed
Come
off
on.
about the clue stones.
Well,
Yeah.
Oh, those were arguably worse
Well,
though.
Aladdin's ring.
Yep. Zap.
Oh dear.
Yeah, I will take the ring.
Well,
Seems like a bomb in this.
it was
format.
fun. It's always fun opening very old packs of Magic.
I love this. The flavor text on Aladdin's ring is, after these words, the magician drew a ring off his finger and put it on one of Aladdin's, saying, "It is a talisman against all evil, so long as you obey me." Attributed to the Arabian Nights Junior Classics translation.
Okay.
Forgot that.
They used to pull flavor text from like actual classic literature.
Yeah,
sometimes.
they still do from time to time. It's much less common though.
Yeah.
Yarp.
Well,
Okay.
Thank you for
Thank
the.
you.
We do really appreciate.
Yeah, we do.
information
Yeah,
back.
I mean, no, it's. I love opening. I mean, Revise. Like this is when I started playing Magic. Was when Revise came out, and these are the packs that I remember opening when I was a kid. So it's always fun to do it.
Is that different art for Aladdin's ring? What is that?
Ninth Ed.
Wow, that's different.
Hume.
It doesn't have like Mentok the Mind Taker's face in the ring though.
It is Mentok, isn't it?
It looks like it. Yeah.
It does.
Or maybe one of those Superman villains.
Meanwhile, let the lead.
All right,
do it.
let's
All right,
let's
let's
move
talk
on.
about-
Let's move on.
What do you guys want to talk
What do we
about?
want to talk about?
I don't know.
Well, let's talk about the stuff we did at LRRCON. So the Lady Planeswalker Society and the retailer at Northwest Sports Cards,
Yep.
who was not expecting that many people would be playing Magic.
She was. Her name was Liz, and she was fantastic and
Yeah.
organized and just chipper and just very wonderful.
But she was sort of
I saw
jokingly
her-
saying things like, "They said some people would want to play some Magic." Some Magic.
I mean, presumably
that,
they
like-
did quite well on the day in sales.
Yeah.
Yeah, she said that like right after this we sort of opened the gaming floodgates, and I saw her, and they were like, "All right, oh, so Mini Masters is capped at okay, a little stressful here."
Yeah, so one of the big tournaments that we had during the event, and one of the tournaments that the most of us played in was the Mini Masters tournament. And it was set up so that the first 32 players actually got in for free, which was sweet. But the demand was so high that they actually had to raise it to 64 people, and then they capped it at that. And I believe myself and Paul and Graham and Kathleen and was Cam in there?
No,
Cam
he
might
went
have
into
been-
the standard.
Cam
Yeah,
was
Cam was in standard. I don't think Matt joined. I think it was just the 4 of us who joined up. And the way it worked is it was very simple pack wars rules. Everybody got a pack to start out with. You went up, you got 3 of each land. That was your deck, and you just go. Which is
And best
different
2 out
than
of 3.
there are different variations of the mini master format, but that's the one we were playing. And it was very straightforward, so it was good.
So then you play a match of 3 games. If you lose, you're out. If you win, you get another pack.
Yep.
And then you build a
30 card deck. You
you
maintain
refine your 30 card
Yeah, you
deck.
maintain a 30 card deck
and
throughout
every
the
time
whole
you win,
thing.
you get a pack.
Yes, and we rotated through. We started with Journey,
Yeah.
and then we got Born, and then we got Theros, and then if you were still in it, you got
Journey
another
and
Journey
then Born
again,
and
Born
Theros,
and
yeah.
Theros. Yeah.
So it was really interesting because I was out in the first round. I lost to a guy who I thought had a really good deck, and he had a really funny sign on his hat that said, "There may be other Lure fans, but they don't have this hat." And I said, "Your pack seems really good on it, and considering I'm kind of cheesed about losing in the first round, you better go all the way." And then who did he fight next?
So then it took till the top 8. Both me and Graham made top 8.
Yep.
And I lost to him in our top 8 match. So that pushed him into the top 4, which Graham also did.
I got the bye.
So there was a
I got
little
the bye in top 8.
There was a little bit of a weird mix-up in terms of people dropping to play in other tournaments, which left us with an uneven number of people.
So I got into the top 4,
Yeah,
where I faced
the same guy.
with the TARDIS hat.
Yep.
And we had to go because the variety show was about to start. And we had to like go and do like a sound check with the double clicks. And so I was like, well, we just did one phenomenally long-winded game 1 that he was handily in control of. And I was like, I think maybe I could get there in the other 2 games, but they would probably take a long time. It would probably be going until the variety show actually starts.
Yeah, and
Liz would kill you.
you sort of needed to be there.
Also,
so.
what happens if I actually win? Because the prize was an uncut foil sheet.
Yep.
Like, what happens if I win? That's embarrassing. As much as I really want my own foil sheet at the house, but so I was like, okay, I concede to you. Good luck in the finals. And I don't actually know, because the thing is, there was also somebody with a bye in the top 4.
Yeah, so
I don't know what, because we were talking to the judge, and the judge was like, either, because that means there'll be 3 people in the finals.
Yep.
So he was like, either 2 people play and then 2 people play, or because it's casual rules enforcement, we just do a 3-player match, a 3-player free-for-all. And I don't know what they actually ended up doing, but the gentleman with the TARDIS hat, after eliminating all 3 of us, did indeed win the uncut foil sheet.
Hooray!
And he won the draft.
Yep. So later that night,
48-player.
we did a 48-player.
It wrapped up at like 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
It started at 11, which, so the tournament organizer, she was saying, if this happens again, the commander event will start at like 11
p.m.
because
Yeah.
the way the commander event ran, this was really cool. It was $20 to enter, but you got one of the commander pre-con decks with it randomly assigned. Because
Which
everybody
is just good value.
yeah, because everybody was like, what about Mindseas? I want Mindseas. So randomly assigned. And then they make up the pods. They put the prize support in the table. As you are eliminated, you can just take your prize support and leave. If you win, right?
Yeah.
Because it's based on eliminations. And so she's like, we'll do that one at 11. Because what happened is the draft, it was 48 people.
Yep.
Started at 11. We were saying to the hotel, when do we have to leave? And they were like, you can be here.
And we're like, fantastic.
We're like,
we
all right.
will.
So I went to bed at 3:30, which was when the top 8 started.
Yeah.
Our buddy Mike Robles,
Yep.
who was there with Tifa and the Lady Planeswalkers, he made the top 8. In fact, he made the top 4.
He did.
And at the end of it, our buddy with the TARDIS hat
Took home the
and
rares and
you know
mythics.
what, and I asked him
Yeah.
his name, and I played so many games of Magic and met so many people, it's completely escaped my mind. I think it might have been Brian.
I can't even remember.
I'm so sorry.
If I check
Also, because it was
check my notepad, I could
because
find
it was
out.
an unsanctioned draft. A couple of our friends from Wizards were
Were
actually
able to-
allowed to play, and they
yeah.
were like, "I'm so excited! I never get to play." Because we actually asked them to not sanction that draft for that reason.
Yeah.
Because
Really, they just can't play in sanctioned events?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a
Yeah.
drag.
Well, because they do have a little bit of insider information about how the block was designed.
well, it's also that they're generally quite good at it.
Yeah.
So especially Gavin.
Yeah.
But you know what? It was super fun, and thank you so much, everybody. I played a lot of Magic this weekend.
Yeah. So in the mini masters thing, I tell you what, in the first couple revisions of the deck when I was still very, very low on cards, all stars in that format, Blade Tusk Boar.
Blade Tusk Boar is an.
Blade
I
Tusk
think
Boar is pretty good in draft anyway.
You know what turned out to be on the same level as Blade Tusk Boar for me was the 1/1 blue dude who's unblockable.
Just ping.
Yeah.
ping,
No,
ping,
he was amazing. And if I
the
could,
Triton Shore Stalker.
yeah, that's what it was. And if I could bestow anything on it,
Oh my god.
it was just like sweet. I now have an unblockable guy, and you can't do anything about it.
But
And it
probably
was
the
sweet.
greatest was if I could ever, and this happened a lot, if I could ever get turn 2 Sigiled Starfish.
Ooh, yeah.
That thing is nuts in a format where your deck is only 30 cards and you just need to find a threat.
Yeah.
You just need to resolve a threat
And
and
you
defend
need to
it.
resolve not land.
Yeah,
is the
exactly.
thing, right?
Yeah.
Because my game with the eventual winner, my match, I guess, went to 3. And, like, he won the first one, I won the second one, and the third one, he was in firm control of it, but it didn't help that I was just like, land, for like 4 turns in a row, which often happens in Pack Wars. But what he had, which was a really good combo, is from Journey into Nyx. It's the 3/4 flying enchantment creature that you have to return an enchantment to your hand at the beginning
Oh,
of the turn.
Riptide Chimera.
The
Yep.
Riptide Chimera,
Double
and
shark.
he was pairing it with an enchantment that he could just bounce to his hand every
Double
turn.
shark.
And so it was amazing for him.
That thing's so good with like the cantripping enchantments, stuff like
Yep.
like Stratus Walk and things like that.
Yep.
You just draw a card
I was
every
super
turn.
happy by the end of the 8th round. Like when I was in the top 8, my deck was a pretty sick black-white.
Oh, yeah. I opened an Athreos in one of my packs for that.
Oh,
Nice.
that would have been amazing. Like I had 2 asphyxiates, an excoriate, Is it the Doomwake Giant?
Yep. This sounds filthy.
Yeah, and a bunch of just other really. I had 2 of the Freakish Chosens, the little 1/1 Death Touch snakes. I had the in my last pack that I got to open. I opened the 2/1 Black Eye with Heroic. What's he?
The Blood Crate Toplate.
Yeah, I opened one, and I opened the foil. There was a foil one and a regular one in my pack.
Oh,
Nice.
And it was just, it was so good. Like, I was
Toplate's
super stoked with my deck at the end. I still have it together. Like, I really like it. Thought it was really fun.
Cam also, as we said, he played in the Standard. I think he made
top 8.
Top 8, yeah.
Yep.
And what I actually loved about the Standard event, the guy who eventually won and his opponent, I don't remember what she was running either. I don't remember what either of them were running. But I know that their decks were like rogue decks. Like they were not like they were good, obviously, and obviously they were both good players, but they weren't like the just A tier top tier net deck. Like I liked that they were both sort of like really sweet. You know, like when you hear what sort of deck someone's running, and you're like, you're not like, oh, okay, so what list? You're like, really
cool,
all right. And I just like that.
I like it when Brewers decks are good.
Yeah, actually, so was Cam's. I can't actually remember what his was, but I know that it involved hidden strings.
Yeah, it's a blue-black thing with hidden strings, and because we all played in the draft portion of the evening, late at night. I was my second ever full block draft, and I went blue because, as we've stated, I have a problem. But the reason I went blue is like my first pick was Whitewater Naiads, which I wanted to try out, and boy,
they seem really good.
I went 0-2 because my deck wasn't amazing. I didn't have great luck, unfortunately. But brick on land, whatever. That's the game. But when they came out, boy, did they do work.
Yeah, they are very
great.
Strong.
I like them. If you see them in a draft, they're definitely first pickable.
Yeah, the unblockability and the fact that they're a 4/4 for 5 in blue with like a very relevant ability is pretty sweet.
The 4 toughness makes them extremely relevant, right? Because they can eat a lot. They can eat most of the big centaurs that are coming in, right? And even if they're going to get that, basically, if you can get them down, somebody playing a centaur, whatever the one is that gets the +1/+1 counter on taps, suddenly is not a viable plan for them anymore because they just run it into your big ass wall of meat. And if you could bestow on those guys, which was the dream, but I never got to.
Because then, of course, you get to trigger Constellation. Actually, can we talk about Constellation real quick?
Yeah,
it's real good.
It's fun.
Yeah, no,
Constellation is a really sweet mechanic.
Yeah, I mean. I don't know.
It rewards you for playing the cards you want to play anyway, and it just feels awesome.
Yep. Yeah, I'm curious to see how it. Like, I still haven't done too many drafts, and the problem is you only have the one pack of it. In Triple Journey, we did that last night on the stream.
Oh, that was fun.
And that deck was so much fun. Like I
goofy.
Yeah, I just liked every round of playing that deck because there was so many fun little interactions with Constellation.
We were running 3 copies of Rise of Eagles.
Yep.
Which is a 6 mana, and people were like, "You shouldn't be running 3 of those." And we were like, "No, this will be great. Trust us," because that makes 2 enchantments enter the battlefield off of 1 card, and so we were like, we would cast that spell, and and Magic Online would be like, "All right, you have a ton of stuff to put on the stack.
Yeah,
how do you want to do
please
this?
figure this out?"
Because it would be like triggering. We had like an Oakheart Dryads out there.
We had 3 of those.
Yeah,
in our deck,
and the Whitewater Naiads.
Yep.
And so it's like, all right,
So
you
you're
have
playing-
2 +1/+1 buffs to
You're playing
distribute. Yeah, you have 2 +1/+1 buffs to distribute. You get to make 2 creatures unblockable. Also, everything has trample, by the way.
Yeah.
How do you want to run
so
this
much
turn?
fun.
We were just like putting things on the stack. Someone was like, "Holy crap! You need a trigger warning. It's covered in triggers."
Boo.
It was a bad joke, but still, that was really cool. And I actually got hilariously crushed by a Constellation deck in full block in an 8/4 last night.
that makes me happy. I
Yeah.
mean, not that you got crushed, but that it can happen.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
like it was in 3 games. I had a deck that I liked that had good cards in it that felt maybe a little not sure what it wanted to do. Like it had stuff like it had like the Hero of Iroas and the Ekron Skyguard, but then it also had sort of like much more black white like defendy cards, like the Scholar of Athreos and other cards that lent itself to a more control-y black white deck. So it was a little all over the place. But my opponent was he was primarily green black with a splash. I don't recall for what, and he was just constellationing. He was going constellation on me hardcore with like Grim Guardian, and he had a Humbler of Mortals as his top end. He was doing like stuff with the Cavern Lampad. I tell you what, you have like the Grim Guardian out there and the Humbler. No, the Humbler wasn't out there, but he had the Grim Guardian, and he bestows Cavern Lampad, which has never been amazing prior to now, on the Blood Crazed Hoplite.
Yep.
So the guy's now a 5/4 with Intimidate, and he gets to trigger Constellation off the Grim Guardian and off of one other thing, I think, off of like an Oak Heart Dryad. So he's hitting me for 6 out of nowhere, and I'm like, oh, and then 7 because the Grim Guardian pings me for 1, and I'm just like, that. What just happened? And it was just amazing to watch this sort of like when I finally conceded, there were 8 triggered abilities waiting for him to order them on the stack.
Jeez.
And I was like, this is I can't. This is amazing, but I'm just like I'm not going to make you do all this because I am super dead.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, the game I won, by the way, I got stuck on 2 land
Nice.
the whole game, but I had a lot of 2-drops, and I was able to be like,
All right, I
fight
will cast
you.
1 spell a turn.
Yeah,
I don't know, James.
It got there.
Did you see any cool cards or like discover any good stuff while you were playing in the draft and everything?
I didn't play in that draft, so
We were talking the other day. Cast into Darkness
It's actually pretty good.
is actually really good.
Yeah.
Like I was pretty sort of like, eh?
Because it's -3, -2, right?
-2, -0.
No, it's -2, -0.
Yeah.
But it's cheap. It
But
comes
it can't
out for 2,
and it can't
right?
block.
Yeah, and the creature can't block. That's it. Like that doesn't seem. It's like, all right, but the value of being able to trigger Constellation is quite. If your deck works with that, can be quite high, and just being able to be like, all right, so I do this, I trigger Constellation. Also, your guy can't block, kill you.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah, no, I think that card is
impressive.
pretty good. I like that card.
that happened when we were doing
The stream last
the
night?
stream last night.
Yep. Yeah, no, that card did really well in that stream last night in the deck we did last night.
Actually, one of the decks that ruined me in the draft was someone was running like 3 of them, and I'm just sort of like, I can't do anything.
Just debuff all your guys. Now you
creatures are
can't
all
block
useless
anything.
now.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
my
they
creatures can't attack. They can't block.
they can still attack, but you can just block and eat them, and that doesn't help.
Yeah.
And they certainly can't block. It just you've made them all completely useless. Suck.
So there you go. Those are some pro tips.
Yeah. And
Pro tips.
pro tips. Actually, this isn't directly relating to Journey. This is not relating to Journey into Nyx at all. But just because you mentioned it offhand, you were talking about your Lady Planeswalkers group was building a cube last night.
Yeah, we
I
decided.
would love to hear about that.
Well, we had a lot of fun drafting James's cube. Like everybody really enjoyed it.
The budget one or the popper one?
The budget one.
Okay.
We like that one better than the popper cube. So we decided that it was really fun and that we enjoyed it. And, if we can get together a cube that is the communal property of Lady Planeswalkers, then we can draft for free without having to borrow someone's cube. And, we try to mix up our formats, but everybody really likes drafting. Basically,
just real quick, just to explain, in case you're new to the show or new to Magic, a cube is just it's just a collection of cards. It's basically you're building your own expansion.
it's a curated collection of
Yeah.
cards that match a theme sometimes.
Usually like 500,
Popper.
like 500,
Depends on how many players you want.
Well,
to
we made an
support.
8-man cube.
which
so
is like
360.
360.
Yeah.
By the way, Missy volunteered to buy the sleeves for this and stuff, and so she accidentally only got 300 sleeves.
Bum bum bum.
So we're in the middle of sleeving up, and we're like, oh crap! But everybody had all had drinks, so another one of the members had to phone her husband to bring us sleeves.
Well, you need
And,
360 and you need
sleeves for land. We
too,
only had
yeah.
300 sleeves.
Oh no.
Yeah.
So
The
2
worst.
more packs of sleeves were quickly delivered, I think. So we got 500 sleeves, which is more than
Yep.
enough. Or maybe we even got 600 just because we had already had to send somebody out because we had all been drinking. But anyhow, it's really fun. What we did is because we wanted to be group property of like sort of the group, and nobody wants to put in all the money for a cube. What we did, and you could do this with your play group as long as you're okay with this saying goodbye cards, which everybody was, as everybody was supposed to bring in 45 cards. I got carried away and probably brought in 100. I just riffled through all our boxes.
We have extra crap, so
we have cards. I hope you don't mind.
I don't mind at all.
You probably won't
take
even
them
miss
away.
them. And so I just tried to grab like good utility cards from all of the colors and stuff like that. And what we did is we broke it up. We had 60 of each color, and then we had 30 multicolored and non-basic land and 30 artifact.
Yep.
So we still have some substitutions to make because obviously a spontaneous cube coming together, there's a lot of... It turns out everybody brought in a pacifism and an O-ring and a lightning bolt and a giant growth.
What was your... I asked you earlier at home, what was your theme for the cube?
All good cards.
That's usually
Good
the cube theme.
Well, because
Yeah.
somebody was
Theme.
like, do we want to make it themed? And I was like, can we and I like on our Facebook group, I was like, I know this sounds boring, but can we just make the theme just good cards? Because it's fun to play good cards.
Yeah.
And that was what we really liked about James's budget cube, is that, it didn't cost a lot to put together, but all the cards in it were really powerful and good. And so what we did is we split our colors up, and then we decided we'd have a 60-40 split between creatures and land, which I think is probably fine. So 36 creatures and 24 spells in each color. Not land, sorry, spells. Which I think is fine. Originally somebody said 50-50, and I was like, I don't think that's going to be enough. Maybe 60-40 is better.
You definitely want some more creatures, yeah.
So I think that's a good ratio. I mean, we're going to test it. We did a test draft. We didn't have... By the time we had put all the cards together and made cuts and stuff like that, we didn't actually have time to play, but we drafted and made sure we could, like, play decks out of it.
Well, a cube is a ongoing refinement of...
Yeah.
Yep.
We have notes to put up. Apparently our red creatures are not amazing, and we have a bunch of stuff that we're going to take out and replace with other stuff. But it was really fun, and I recommend that you guys do that. I'll report back when we actually play with the cube.
Definitely make sure that everyone is on the same page with...
What good cards
Well,
are?
no, when you're building a group cube, make sure everyone's on the same page with, like, how basically ownership is working. Like, in this case, it sounds like you guys were all just like, I don't care about these cards, so whatever. But I know that, like, there's some people that we know that, they sort of all have...
A share.
They all have, like, a share of a cube, which sometimes gets awkward, where it's like, well, I couldn't really bring it because, so-and-so didn't want it... going on an airplane to this convention because what if something happened to it?
I've got like $400 worth of cards in here.
And I understand that, but it does lead to sort of awkwardness. So make sure everyone's on the same page with how ownership is working.
This is basically a budget cube because, I mean, nobody was going to bring, like, I looked through my binder and brought in, like, good rares that would be good for the cube, but also I didn't bring in stuff that would be good for the cube, like, my Courser of Crew Fix, and, right, because I want to put that in a commander deck, and, stuff like that. Like, my ideal editions, I would like to put in some Planeswalkers in every color, because we have an Ajani in there, but that's apparently the only one we had. 2 Ajanis were brought, which was annoying.
2 of the same Ajani?
Well, nobody planned ahead of time.
But was it 2 of the same Ajani? Oh, wow.
It was 2 of the M14 Ajanis. So
There's 3 of those guys. 4 of those guys? How many Ajanis are there? 3?
all right. So we have like
4.
one.
There's 4 now.
There's 4 now, yeah.
We have like one Planeswalker. So I'd like to get all of the Planeswalkers. I'd like to get all the Titans, but like prime time's really expensive.
Is he?
He's
Is
like
he still
$20
$10?
still. Oh, is he $10 now?
Well,
he's
he's
way cheaper.
I might just go down to
I don't know if he's
YJ.
He's banned in most formats now.
Yeah, but he's fine in the cube.
Oh, he's great in Cube, but he's banned in, like, Commander and stuff.
Yeah.
On account of being, like, super busted.
Yeah, but it's fine. We I want to do some like additions like that, which will sort of bring up the cost. But at the same time, like, I'm fine with donating like $30 worth of cards to something I will get more than $30 worth of enjoyment and friendship out of.
Yeah, definitely keep us updated on that. I'd love to hear.
Well, we have a large list of revisions to go through. Things that were put in that we're kind of wondering about, like a Jinxed Idol was in there, and I was like, are we running enough tokens to make this worthwhile? Right? And somebody's like, well, you could just sack a creature. I'm like, or alternately, I think the problem will be that this will go around. Somebody will be like, I don't have enough crappy creatures or enough token generation that I'm willing to run this for the lulz, and it will always be a sideboard card and it'll never get played.
I would like to donate Aladdin's ring to your cube.
I don't want it, thank you. My good cards, James, good cards.
Oh, okay. Well, then in that
This
case,
island.
here's a Disintegrate.
I think we have a Disintegrate in there.
Oh, and last thing, just
Oh,
to
wait, one more thing
sorry.
that's in there. We had it, and this was the subject of much debate because everybody while we were drafting was taking notes and then comparing the notes and sort of discussing the cards because we weren't gonna play these decks, so it wasn't secret. But 3 people, including me, brought up we had Brass Man, which is a 1/3 for 1, and it's an artifact, and it doesn't untap. And everybody's like, this seems bad. I'm like, or is this awesome? Because if you just want to run a defensive deck, it's a 1/3 for 1 and it blocks all day.
I like Brass Man.
I think it's good. I don't know. I think it requires
Who brought in
further
Brass
testing.
Man? They're my hero.
My friend Caitlin,
that's
who's been
sweet.
playing for years and brought in like a bunch of like
Really old
revised
cards.
stuff.
Nice.
Look at Brass. Look at him.
I
Yeah,
felt
he's
bad.
amazing.
I love Brass Man.
But yeah, if you're interested in doing your own cube, our criteria was bring in cards that you think are good, and then everybody was evaluating their colors because they had like a stack of like probably like 80 cards that they had to pare down to 60, and so our criteria were: does this pass the vanilla test, or does it have a major upside where it makes the vanilla test kind of meh, right? Like there's some things, and so that got rid of a few cards, and then does it pass the vanilla test? Go ahead, Paul.
I was going to say, I was just reading, there's an interesting ruling on Brass Man.
Oh yeah.
So Brass Man's original wording was, does not untap as normal. You may pay 1 during your untap phase to untap it. And it's been oracled to, Brass Man does not untap during your untap phase. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may pay 1 if you do untap it. Because the way it was worded then, you could infinite combo, like as long as you were in your untap phase, you could untap it as many times as you want. So you could tap, untap, tap, untap, tap, untap.
And then if you put something,
If you put something on it,
like a pinging equipment on it,
yeah.
Oh, weird.
Yep.
That's so odd.
It's a
So it's
little
been
bit
changed
like
now, so you can only do it.
Also,
at the
well,
beginning
now
of your
abilities
upkeep.
can't go on the stack during the untap step.
Huh.
The untap step, because like Inspired, for example, it triggers when the thing untaps, but it goes on the stack in the upkeep. Like nothing actually goes on the stack during the untap step. So that's interesting. Interesting.
right? The other criteria was: is it a vanilla creature with a strictly better ability? And you know what came up a lot, and so much that a couple people were like, return a creature cards. Either bounce other people's creatures, which I love,
So good.
or the creatures that force that you get something better, but you have to return your own creature
Like
card.
a Skyfisher?
The 3 core Skyfishers were brought in.
Nice.
Because we all know good cards, and then we all know, like a couple people was like, okay, we have all these cards and they're good, but do we have enough enters the battlefield effects to really exploit them?
That's good.
So
Good thing to discuss.
yeah, it's good.
What's up?
I see Brass Man was actually the 4th edition version. That was the Arabian Nights version. The 4th edition version is use this ability only during your upkeep. So there would have been an infinite upkeep combo there, but now it's at the beginning of your upkeep, so you can only do it once.
Okay.
So no shenanigans for you, Brass Man.
While we're showing off cool stuff that we got, my sister Kate just came back from a trip to Europe, and she brought us some. She brought Kathleen and I some magic packs from Switzerland, which means they are French. And I got a pack of Dragon's Maze, which is like the pack, like laser focused to cam, because there was a Fields Cache, which was the hidden strings, and a Cyclope du Nivix.
Nice.
Both of which I was just like, Cam, do you want these? Here, because he loves Nivix Cyclops. Or you finding the French? Yes, there's the French. And the rare in my pack of Dragon's Maze was Melek Paragnon Dizet.
Nice.
Wow.
That's sweet.
I was showing Cam. He's like, "Wow, this is a Cam pack." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm gonna
ridiculous.
keep Melek, but you can just have the hidden strings and the Cyclops because I know that he loves those things." Also, Centaur. The Centaur token is just Centaur
Okay. Also, the
With
Rod
an-
of Ruin.
with an E on the end.
The Rod of Ruin was
Oh my god!
Could you pull up the French Rod of Ruin? I don't even want to spoil it.
Kathleen got a pack of M14 in French. And
What?
it's the Baguette de Ruin.
What?
Wow.
She also got a Door of Destinies, which is like cool and everything, but now she has a Baguette de Ruin.
That's sweet.
Somebody needs to repaint that.
I don't know how that happened in the translation.
Yeah, that's literally loaf of ruin, right?
I guess.
Well, I don't know. Is baguette like a stick?
I don't know.
I thought it was loaf, like loaf
Yeah,
of
that's what
bread.
I thought it was.
I assume, like, I don't know. Paul's actually pulling up Google Translate right now.
It translates
Yeah.
to Rod of Ruin.
Baguette de Ruin.
Does
according to
anybody,
Google Translate.
if any
Rod.
viewers speak French, could you
Oh,
maybe...
stick. So,
Okay, so a baguette is a stick.
Oh, I always
Crazy.
thought it meant like...
Hence how long it is.
Hence, it is the superior sandwich medium because you get all that delicious crust.
Yeah.
interesting.
So anyway,
That's sweet, though.
it makes me laugh. So Baguette de Ruin, top tier Magic card.
Yup.
All right, I think that's.
I think that's good, yep.
I think that's good for this week. So thank you all for listening. Really appreciate you listening to the show. Let us know what you think about giant dragons. I guess because there's that
That's
giant
not
hypersonic
even-
dragon again.
Even close to being in frame.
Go to combat.
Jesus.
Okay. Thank you all for listening to Tap Tap Concede, and we'll talk to you next time.